A huge secret was recently revealed on Harris Faulkner's show by three of the most famous people on the Fox News channel, Jesse Watters, Greg Gutfeld, and Kayleigh McEnany. There is a lot of political talk and analysis on Fox News. These three conservative leaders have changed the media and politics with their strong personalities and different points of view. What might this do to Fox News' reputation in general? And how politics will work in the future? Stay tuned as we figure out the puzzle and show the real reason for this interesting event. Jesse Watters, Greg Gutfeld, and Kayleigh McEnany are all well-known stars in the commentary business. While adding something different to the political talks on Fox News, each of them shows off their own personalities and points of view. What news did they share together this time, though, that people are very interested in online? A lot of people like Jesse Watters, the author of Watters' World, because he is funny and doesn't shy away from talking about politics. He has been a regular on Fox News, where he talks about the most important issues of the day with a mix of humor, in-depth reporting, and strong views. He has a reputation for questioning the stories told by the mass media. He is known for his witty banter and direct style. He often plays the role of the provocateur by bringing up political issues that aren't getting enough attention or are misread, which starts heated debates. He said it was his job to show how the leaders act and how their choices affect ordinary Americans. When it comes to controversial topics, Watters doesn't hold back. A lot of the time, he bases his claims about immigration, economic policy, and the ongoing cultural problems in America on this supposed split. It's not a problem for him to say that he thinks politicians don't understand the problems of regular people. The person was born and raised in the Germantown and East Falls neighborhoods of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His junior year was spent at William Penn Charter School. After that, he moved to Long Island, New York with his family. The year 2001 saw him earn his BA in history from Hartford, Connecticut's Trinity College. His rise to fame at Fox News began as a production helper after he graduated. He joined the production team for the O'Reilly Factor in 2003 and began appearing on the show the following year. Watters first appeared on the Fox News show Outnumbered in June 2014. After that, he made a few guest visits as a co-host. Soon after Watters' World, his own monthly show on Fox News, hit the air. Even though Watters is an ambush journalist, he tries to make the conversation fun for the person he's talking to. We usually leave the interview with a smile on our face and think to ourselves, oh my gosh, that was so funny when we watched the video again. Soon, in April 2017, Watters became a co-host on the panel show The Five. Soon after, he wrote another book called, which was the best-selling non-fiction book in the New York Times. There was no doubt that Watters was getting famous on TV and in the writing world. As Watters became more well-known, he moved up at Fox News. His new job as the usual host of his primetime show started on January 10, 2022. Before that, he was the temporary host of the network's 7 p.m. show. Because of this, Jesse Watters' Evening was made and brought to life on January 24, 2022. When Watters' World came out on January 15, 2022, it was a huge step forward in his work. Even though this happened, Watters kept showing up on The Five a lot. In 2023, Watters went through yet another big change. Fox News said in June that Watters would be the regular host of the popular 8 p.m. After Tucker Carlson left, it was Eastern Standard Time hour. This move made him one of the most well-known voices on Fox News and solidified his role as a big contributor to the network's shows. That brings us to Greg Gutfeld, who is the master of political comedy. Greg makes things funny by adding comedy to important topics on his late-night show Gutfeld and The Five. He makes us laugh and think at the same time. His unique way of commenting on politics has changed how late-night TV talks about politics. With his clever sense of humor, he shows how the political theater of today isn't always consistent. Some of the main ideas he talks about in his speech are how political correctness limits private freedoms, the end of lifestyle, and freedom of speech. Gutfeld talks about extreme topics in a casual, conversational way that keeps the seriousness of his points while still making them interesting and useful. After getting his bachelor's degree in English from the University of California, Gutfeld worked as an intern for conservative author R. Emmett Tyrrell, who works for the American Spectator. Afterward, he was in charge of several Rodale Press publications and worked as a writer for Prevention magazine. To work for Men's Health, he went to work in 1995. His job as editor-in-chief at Men's Health was made official in 1999. After a year, David Zinchenko took his place. After that, Gutfeld was made the main editor of Stuff. That was later bought by Dennis Publishing. During his time in charge, circulation went from 750,000 to 1.2 million. In 2003, Gutfeld wanted to go to a meeting of the Magazine Publishers of America on Buzz, so he hired some dwarfs and told them to be as loud and annoying as possible. After being fired soon after the act that got him in trouble, Gutfeld became head of brand development at Dennis Publishing. He worked for the company as editor of Maxim magazine in the UK from 2004 to 2006. Because fewer people were reading during his time, Gutfeld's contract was not renewed. Gutfeld was one of the first people to write for the Huffington Post from its start in 2005 to October 2008. In his writing, he often attacked co-workers like Arianna Huffington, Cenk Uygur, and Deepak Chopra of the Huffington Post, which made his image as a troublemaker even stronger. In February 2007, Gutfeld was hired to host Red Eye, a late-night talk show on Fox News. This changed the course of his career. Since it came out at 2 a.m., the only-hour program has had a lot of fans. Red Eye was known for its precise style. It put fellow author Andy Levy in charge of the app's security and Gutfeld's old friend Bill Scholes as his helper. Red Eye became a hit with a loyal fan group because people could relate to Gutfeld's sarcastic style. Gutfeld was the host until February 2015 when Tom Shilway took over. Even though Gutfeld became famous through Red Eye, it was his role on The Five, which began in July 2011, that really made him famous. During the week at 5 p.m., she is a panelist and co-host on the popular political talk show. E.T. Gutfeld got more listeners and solidified his place as a major critic of politics. From May 2015 to present, Gutfeld was the host of The Greg Gutfeld Show on Fox News. The program airs every week on Saturday at 10 p.m. and is a late-night talk show. It was funny and made political points at the same time, which fans liked because it wasn't serious. Fox News announced in February 2021 that the exhibition would be shown on weeknights and that the new Gutfeld edition might be shown on April 5th, 2021. The change to showing the exhibition in the evenings worked out well. Gutfeld moved ahead of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert in the polls in August 2021. Gutfeld has now beaten The Late Show, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and Jimmy Kimmel Live to become the most popular late-night talk show in the U.S., who came every night in groups of 2.12 million on average. Gutfeld became a well-known personality on Fox News when, by the end of 2021, the five of them were attracting an average of more than 5 million people a month. He is a unique figure in both politics and the media because he can mix serious political analysis with funny and harsh criticism of current events. Mediaite ranked Gutfeld as the 11th most powerful person in American media in the second half of 2021. This shows how much of an effect he has on political discourse. Of course, there's Kayleigh McEnany, who used to be the White House press secretary and has since become a political commentator. A lot of people admire McEnany for being able to explain complicated policy issues in a precise and clear way. She is now a regular on Outnumbered, where she continues to give sharp political comments from the inside. McEnany did work as an intern for several politicians while in college, such as George W. Bush, Adam Putnam, and Tom Gallagher. After that, she worked at the White House Office of Communications and wrote reports for the media. McEnany's first job was as a paid reporter for CNN while she was in law school. When she ran for president in 2016, she backed Donald Trump. Before supporting Trump in early 2015, McEnany was a harsh critic of him. He said on Fox Business and CNN that Trump has proven to be a showman and that calling him a Republican is wrong and not true. McEnany called what he said about Mexican newcomers racist. Interestingly, though, she changed her mind and started supporting Trump after listening to Mark Antonio's advice, which he gave her over drinks. A summer associate at the same law company as McEnany told the New York Times that Donald Trump would be their choice, according to Michael Marcantoni. And if you were a smart, young, blonde Harvard graduate who wanted to become a political analyst on TV, you would be smart to back them early on. When she got this, she quit her job at CNN on August 5th, 2017 to host Real News Update, a 90-second video on Trump's personal Facebook page the next day. She praised Trump the whole time and said she had given the American people the real news. Mike Huckabee, who used to work for her, said she was very well prepared and did a lot of study. Van Jones, a liberal activist and commentator who worked with her at CNN, noticed how quickly she rose in her career and said, "I'm not trying to defend the messaging, but I think people will realize that there aren't many people in either party. There is no one who can do what Kayleigh has done in such a short time. People still feel bad about not taking care of her." In politics, McEnany became well known for her ability to stay calm under pressure and her deep understanding of important topics. She became famous very quickly, even among people who didn't like her. McEnany's quick rise in politics shows how well she can speak and how strongly she believes in conservative ideas. Right now, McEnany looks at politics in a formal and methodical way, and he often backs right politicians and programs, especially those linked to Donald Trump. She markets herself as a strategist and fan of conservative ideas by using her time in the White House to give insider information on how to talk to the media and plan a political campaign. McEnany often talks about the accomplishments of the Trump administration and how they differ from the policies that are in place now in order to show how effective Republican leadership is. McEnany made a name for herself in the ever-changing field of political analysis by using her position to spread her ideas and change the way people talk about politics in the United States. She is a powerful presence both on TV and in public, and both fans and critics pay close attention to her. Finally, we have Harris Faulkner, a giant in news who has won 6 Emmys. As the host of the Faulkner Focus and co-host of Outnumbered, Faulkner is one of the most recognized people in the business, known for her tough interviews and excellent reporting. She got her BA in Mass Communications from the University of California, Santa Barbara. Faulkner's first job was as an unpaid business reporter at LA Weekly, where she made $50 per article. Following some low-level work as an intern at KCOP-TV in Los Angeles, Faulkner moved to Greenville, North Carolina to work as an anchor and reporter at WNCT-TV. From 1992 to 2000, Faulkner was an evening host for WDF-TV in Kansas City. When Faulkner moved to Kansas City, an old friend followed her from North Carolina to bother and stalk her while she was there. After that, she moved again to Minneapolis-St. Paul, started working as an evening anchor at KSTP-TV in July 2004, but he quit to join Fox News in 2005. Before it was canceled in October 2005, she was a reporter for the current events show The Resurrected. From 2011 to 2017, Faulkner was the host of Fox Report Weekend, which was her first job as a reporter on a network show. Faulkner has written about the 2018 midterm elections and also filled in as Martha McCallum's anchor on The Story and Shepard Smith's host on Shepard Smith's Reporting. She also often featured as a guest on the late-night satire show Red Eye with Greg Gutfeld before Gutfeld quit. She now appears on his evening show Gutfeld and sometimes fills in as co-host for The Five. Outnumbered is a Fox News show that airs in the afternoon. Faulkner has been co-hosting it since April 2014. In 2017, she became the host of Outnumbered Overtime, a show that is more about breaking news than talking about it. At the start of 2021, she started her new show, The Faulkner Focus. In the autumn of 2016, after Tucker Carlson was fired, Faulkner was a guest host on Fox News Tonight. Women and children are being changed by some crazy communist science project. She said on that show, criticizing faith and using the words USA, why does this matter? Because it's a sign of something revolutionary when people of this caliber come together, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about. What is this big news about Jesse Watters, Greg Gutfeld, Harris Faulkner, and Kayleigh McEnany? Give a drum roll. These 4 media giants will work together to make a great new primetime show. Yes, a program that uses all of their different skills to give an interesting, all-around look at the political and cultural situation. Imagine a mix of Greg Gutfeld's famously funny writing, Jesse Watters' bold comments, Kayleigh McEnany's expert political knowledge, and Harris Faulkner's experienced, fact-based reporting. People who watch this platform will see a new level of political debate. This isn't just another news show. The show will try to see things in a bigger picture. It will be fun if we talk in detail about how policies will affect the future, how culture will change, and even make fun of things. Putting these 4 things first should make it fun and teach you something. This brings us to the most important question. What does this mean for people who are watching? Why does it matter? This is the start of the exciting part. Okay, here's a new show. Why does it matter? Is most likely what you're thinking. Let's begin. This news is about more than just a new cast or group of people. There has been a change in how the news is presented. In recent years, a lot of people have grown tired of standard forms that only give the facts and don't go into more detail about the problems. This new show promises to do more than just report the news. It will also analyze, discuss, and question ideas in a way that has never been done before. To begin, let us talk about Harris Faulkner. Because of her background and reputation for asking tough questions, she is the right host for this new show. People know her for getting right to the point. She will be able to talk about things other than the news now that Jesse, Greg, and Kayleigh are on her side. We all know that Jesse Watters stands up for what she believes in. He isn't afraid to tell power the truth. He will probably bring the same energy to his new job too, giving a different point of view to the more common ones. The understanding of his co-host goes well with his lively, honest, and open personality. Now, Greg Gutfeld will use his funny skills to make hard topics easier to understand in a way that keeps people interested. Instead of just making people laugh, his comedy has always been a way to get people to think critically about political problems that might seem too big to handle otherwise. And Greg will be the key to making these tough topics easy to talk about on this new show. Next up is Kayleigh McEnany, who has worked in the White House and can give fans a unique look at how Washington works. She has sharp thoughts and is good at making complicated policy issues easy for regular people to understand. Because she knows how politics work, Kayleigh will be able to give an inside look at the decisions that will affect America's future. Together, these 4 voices offer a range of points of view that will keep the talk lively and in-depth. This new show looks like it will be different from everything else on TV, whether you want to watch for the humor, the analysis, or the secret information. Now let's talk about how the news will affect conservative media in a broader sense. This new show could be a big deal for people who want an alternative to major media at a time when people are losing faith in the media. Fox News has been a leader in conservative news for a long time, but Waters, Gutfeld, and Faulkner's partnership is about change. They are making the shows we already love even more interesting. This show will not only reflect conservative values, but it will also help to shape the story, bring up new points of discussion, and give viewers the information they need to be active and aware citizens. When put together, these 4 points of view will give you a deep understanding of the subjects. This leads to a more thorough and fair discussion. Not just another statement, this is a big deal in the field of political criticism. Thanks to Jesse Waters, Greg Gutfeld, Kayleigh McEnany, and Harris Faulkner, the way we talk about the news is about to change. Their new show will have a unique mix of journalism, humor, and insider knowledge that they hope will not only teach viewers but also get them to think more deeply about the most important issues. One thing is for sure, though this show will be fun whether you watch Waters' wit, Gutfeld's humor, McEnany's political observations, or Faulkner's reporting.